What's up, guys? Today's a nice day. Gonna do our daily vlog, and today I'm in a nice suit. We're gonna see the Prime Minister of Palestine, so that'll be interesting to see how this goes. So I'll show you a little trip of kind of like what I do daily. So this will be fun. And the traffic in this city sucks. Alright, we're almost there. Traffic is bad here in Austin, but let's see how it goes. So we're meeting the Prime Minister of Palestine. So hopefully there's no protesters and crazy things that are going to happen at this event. But let's see what it's about.
I don't know, I'm Steve Slick, and on behalf of the Clements Center for National Security, the Strauss Center for International Security and Law, and our host here at the LBJ School of Public Affairs, welcome to today's conversation with Dr. Salam Fayyad. By way of format, I will briefly sketch out Dr. Fayyad's background, then I'll invite him to join Dr. Paul Edgar on stage to field a handful of prepared questions. We'll reserve time for your questions at the close. But when we get there, and when you're called upon, please wait for a microphone, try to be concise, and ensure that your contribution ends with a question mark.
Settling the Israeli-Palestinian conflict through diplomacy, through what we know, and we talked a little bit earlier about a viable and permanent and fully recognized Palestinian state. We know that that's not something we can do tomorrow or something like that, but that's what we'd like to see in the long run. What do you think are the next steps to move in that direction?
Well, thank you. First of all, I think great priority must be directed toward bringing sword to end. If you are in a war, then first thing you should stop doing is stop digging. This is a war to no end since its initial phases. Past retribution, restoration of deterrence. I think when you view it through the prism of these two elements, I think this war has lasted way too long relative to any meaningful objectives, certainly relative to the objectives set forth by the government of Israel early on. So priority has to be, priority number one, to stop the war, go back to a process that ends up in having hostages released and consummate the deal when the ceasefire expired, and then also return to war. That was a decision actually to return to war. It was not the only option. Right. I think it's clear.
All right, we are finally out. I look nice, got my brown suit, pins and everything. It was a good event. We got to meet the Prime Minister of Palestine, and surprisingly I was expecting protesters and stuff, but really well. Talked about peace and relations that could someday come soon, and hopefully a ceasefire for the two countries. So it's very interesting. I'll post some of the videos soon, but yeah, went well.